Mochi's Piano Rummy, a card game based on gin rummy, but with piano notes. Now, the objective of the game is to form a run of cards to make a major or minor scale, and you do this by swapping out cards from your hand with the two community piles to make a run before your opponent. And Mochi says, all cards in the run need to be the same register or color until space runs out on the piano, at which point you need to change to a different register. So, what does that look like? Well, under Mochi's rules, for the first round you are trying to make a C major scale, and to create that run, we need C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. But you see that we run out of room when we get to B, so we need to switch to a different color for C to indicate a different register. For our next round, we want to make a G major scale, so that starts with G, A, and B, but again we've run out of room. So we change to a different register to complete the run with C, D, E, F sharp, and G. And lastly, for round 3, we want to make an F major scale. So we start with F, G, A, and B flat, and since that's as high as we can go, we change to a different register for C, D, E, and F. Got it? Okay, let's play our first round. The game starts by dealing 8 cards to each player. The remaining cards go in the middle and are called the stock pile, and then the first card is drawn from the top to start the discard pile, and is turned face side up. Now let's look at our cards. For this demonstration, we'll go first, and I have to explain the first turn rule. If you go first, you have to take a card from the discard pile. If you choose not to, then your opponent gets the option of taking that card. If they choose not to, then you have to take a card from the stock pile. But let's assume we can skip all of that, because we're pulling from the discard pile. We'll add that card to our hand, and now we need to put a card back. Well, which one? Well, we know that we're trying to build a C major scale, and we won't be needing any sharp and flat notes, so we'll put one of those in the discard pile. Now, let's consolidate our cards. It looks like we might be able to make a run out of C, F, and G. We'll find out. But anyways, now it's our opponent's turn. They can choose from either the stock pile or the discard pile, and for this turn they're picking from the stock pile. You can't see what card they've got, but you can see what card they're getting rid of. Okay, it's our turn again. We can also choose from the stock pile or the discard pile, and we're going to choose the stock pile, so our opponent can't see what we've got. It's a purple E, and it goes along with the set we're trying to make, so we definitely want that. Now, it's our opponent's turn again. They still have the option of drawing from either pile, and this time around, they're choosing from the discard pile. Now, when you do that, you have to keep that card for at least one hand, so they'll have to get rid of something else. But the advantage is that you know what you are getting. Now it's our turn again. We'll go ahead and get another stockpile card, and it's a D in the same register as our others. That means we have the first 5 cards of our run, and when that happens, you have the option to knock, which ends the round and everyone has to reveal their cards and count their points. So, how did we do? We had 5 cards in our run, and we're going to get 2 points per card, so that equals 10 points. However, the cards that don't go in our run are called deadwood, and you lose a point for each of those. That means we have to take away 3 points, and that leaves us with 7 points altogether. Not bad, but how did our opponent do? Let's look at their cards. They had 3 cards that started to make a set, so they get 2 points each for those, but they can't count G because only cards in the run count for points. So these last cards take away a point, and they end up with 6. Minus 5, leaving them with just 1 point. They have 1, and we have 7, so we are the winner of this round. Then all the cards go back in the deck, and we get ready to deal again. So to recap, in round 1, you are trying to make a C major scale. In round 2, you are trying to make a G major scale. And in round 3, you're trying to make an F major scale. Whoever has the most points at the end wins, and you get 4 extra bonus points if you're able to complete an entire scale in your run. Now, like all card games, Mochi's rules are just suggestions, and you can adapt them however you like. You can disregard registers if you want, or pick any criteria for the runs and play as many or as few rounds as you want to. Just make sure everyone agrees on the rules, plays fair, and has fun. That's it, everyone.